Hello and welcome to the news here on Magic Bricks, now India's first 24/7 property business channel. I'm Krishna Kumar. Let's take a look at the top stories that we're tracking. New construction in parts of Mumbai could come to a halt. The National Green Tribunal imposes a stay on construction of new projects within 10 kilometers from the boundary of the Sanjay Gandhi National Park in Mumbai. In Bengaluru, your road repairs could get delayed. Contractors refuse to take on new infrastructure projects as the BBMP is unable to pay dues worth over 2,000 crore rupees. Pune has emerged as the largest city in Maharashtra. Areas under the control of the PMRDA have doubled. How will this move benefit the city? And in our special series, War of the Cities, we get you Nashik's smart plans in an exclusive conversation with the city's municipal commissioner. Straight to our big story tonight. If you've bought a home close to the hills or mountains in the city of Mumbai, you might have to check the status of your project because the National Green Tribunal order has restrained the government from granting any permissions for new projects within 10 kilometers from the boundary of the Sanjay Gandhi National Park. My colleague Disha Shah sent us this report on how many projects and areas could be affected once the order is passed. Take a look.
That's right, 26 projects could be affected in the city of Mumbai because the recent National Green Tribunal order has put a ban on all the new constructions in and around within the 10-kilometer radius of Sanjay Gandhi National Park, and this ban is going to stay until further notice from National Board for Wildlife Protection India. However, this ban will not impact projects which are already under construction and the projects which have been given clearances, but this will affect all the proposed constructions and pending proposals, including of slum rehabilitation schemes within that 10-kilometer radius. Moreover, those developers who have done the groundwork of getting 70% consent from eligible slum dwellers but have yet to get proposals processed would hit the hardest with this ban. Like I said, that 26 projects could be affected in the city of Mumbai, and when we spoke to experts and consultants across the board, they said that Thane is one area that could see close to 10 projects being affected or could be affected once the order is passed, followed by Borivali, which could see 5 projects being affected. Moving on to Kandivali and Goregaon, that could see 3 projects being affected. Mira Road and Mulund with 2 projects each, and lastly Dahisar with 1 project. All these areas would hit hard and could be affected once the NGT order is passed. And lastly, we hear that the matter will be heard next month, which is on 6th of January 2016.
All right, so that was a big story, but there's another big story that's in the works. The cabinet is discussing the real estate regulatory bill as we speak, and we are expecting a decision on the same anytime soon. Hopefully it gets passed in this session at least, and we are keeping our eyes on it, and we will get you updates as and when that particular news breaks. But for now, we will move on to the BBMP, or the Brihat Bengaluru Mahanagar Palike, which has been making headlines for all the wrong reasons. This time, the BBMP contractors have refused to take on new tenders in the city. Their grouse, the civic body is yet to pay them over 2,000 crore rupees for all the civic work they undertook over the last 2 years. Amita Balachandra has all the details on that front. Listen in.
Well, time and again, the civic body of Bengaluru, BBMP, or the Brihat Bengaluru Mahanagara Palike, has been pulled up for being cash-strapped for not having enough funds. Now, this time around, BBMP contractors have a bigger problem. BBMP has not paid them 2,000 crore rupees for all the civic works that were conducted between April 2013 and November 2015. Now, when we spoke to members of Contractors Association in Bengaluru, they did tell us that they have approached the commissioner of BBMP, but there has been no response from them so far. That's one. Second, they've also told us that new tenders for projects will not be taken up if BBMP does not pay up. Now, the association points out 5 key affected areas when it comes to bad infrastructure itself in Bengaluru. We're talking about Whitefield first, which we have brought up on Magic Bricks now time and again, where citizens have gone ahead and protested against the state government and in fact demanded for better infrastructure. That's one. Second, of course, is KR Puram, which is the heart of the city. It has a city market. Then comes Tumkur Road, Mysore Road, Madiwala, all of where key projects are being taken up. But remember, here when we talk about key projects, we're not talking about bigger projects which are underway in Bengaluru, but we're talking about smaller ones like, filling up potholes or tarring roads, maintaining roads. Now, these are some of the projects that are very, very critical in order to be able to facilitate bigger projects that the state government has mandated.
And to give us more perspective on this, we are being joined by Shrikant from Janagraha right here live on Magic Bricks. Now, Shrikant, thank you so much for being with us. Talk to us. Do you think this is adding to Bangalore's infrastructure woes? What is your view?
Yes, this will obviously add to Bangalore's infrastructure woes. But at the root of this problem is a lack of revenues at the BBMP. And clearly the solution does not lie with the BBMP itself, BBMP alone, but it is something which needs to be solved by both the state government and the BBMP together on two fronts. On one hand, clearly the BBMP for its service obligations, the BBMP's budget is totally inadequate. It needs larger sources of revenues, and that is something that the state government needs to devolve to the BBMP. And secondly, there also needs to be, better quality of financial management systems and processes, some of which again relate to the kind of rules and regulations that apply to the BBMP, which again is something that the state and the BBMP will need to work together on. Unless these two aspects are solved, whatever short-term measures you may take, whatever band-aids you may fix to the problem of lack of funds will remain.
Shrikant, going forward, if projects are stalled, how is that going to impact the city's infrastructure? That is the big concern. I mean, the infrastructure is already inadequate and whatever is there is already crumbling. This is set to pose even a bigger threat to the city's infrastructure going forward as well, right? Certainly, there will be an impact. The problem also is, in some sense, you could say that the government, both the governments and citizens, need to be cognizant that there are certain bitter pills that need to be swallowed, right? And what I mean by this is, while certain short-term projects are critical and crucial and need to be taken up and expedited, there are certain other behind-the-scenes work that needs to be done by government, which may not show visible results to citizens in the short term, but which will strengthen the institution, which in turn can deliver better results. And an example of that is financial management. So for instance, in the last 6 to 8 months, we do know that certain specific measures have been taken towards better transparency, better accountability, and financial management systems on the BBMP, albeit early steps. I'm not saying that enough has been done, but there have been steps taken in the positive direction. But however, those will not yield immediate results. It's going to take at least I'm not saying this based on any study, but in my reckoning, it will at least take between 2 and 5 years for the BBMP's financial management position to turn around. And that's not something which has been caused today. It's been caused by several years of neglect of financial management. Absolutely. Shrikant, so what should the BBMP do now? I mean, financial management is the biggest problem because at the end of the day, all of this means that Bengaluru is going to bear the brunt. Citizens are clearly not happy with this. What is the solution? What does the BBMP need to do now to fix it?
No, it's not which is what I mentioned earlier, that I think the state government has a larger role to play.
Okay.
Because it needs to create, a 3-year roadmap or a 5-year roadmap of strengthening the BBMP's financial position. Some of it may have to be, in the form of immediate short-term relief. But in my view, the more important substantive reform will be in the medium term, which is strengthen the BBMP's financial position. And that has two parts to it. One is making sure that the BBMP has access to larger pool of revenues, which the state needs to devolve to it. And the second is to make sure that the BBMP is able to, to produce data and MIS reports which demonstrate that it's accountable for those funds.
All right, Shrikant, thank you so much for joining us live here on the news and Magic Bricks Now and sharing your views with us. We're not letting it go. We also have the General Secretary of the Association, Ravindra, joining us live on Magic Bricks Now. So, Ravindra, thank you so much for being with us here on the news. Talk to us. How bad is the situation on the ground? Tell us whether you have approached the BBMP. What are they telling you at this point in time?
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Ravindra, if you can hear me.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
BBMP is presently the finance crisis is there, actually. Since from 2 years, we are not receiving the payment. Now, present situation is government is giving funds for major roads only. Small roads, they are not doing anything nowadays. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Please.
Are you hearing, sir?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Please go ahead, sir.
That is the problem. Present, since 2 years means 24 months, they are not clearing the payments. But also now they are, last time we met with Commissioner, he is telling we are actually calling some tenders, you apply like that. Definitely we are not going to apply that tenders. Because
you will not be taking up new tenders going forward. You will not be taking up new tenders going forward.
Definitely we are not participating in the tender.
Okay.
Because of lack of funds. This is the situation, present situation. But government is supporting, definitely. But on bigger, that means projects only they are doing. Roads, this thing, present they are concentrating only roads, potholes, roads. In ward-wise, they are not paying the funds. And from BBMP, they are collecting the taxes. That is only for repaying this is interest and salaries they are compensating. For works, there is no fund.
Okay. Ravindra, tell us, what is your plan of action going forward from here now that this has become such a big issue?
You are so many times you are met with Commissioner, Mayor and in charge Minister, Mr. George. They are giving assurance. They are definitely giving from government. They are asking for government. Definitely they are coming. They are telling like that since from around 3-4 months. Another 1 month we are seeing. After that we are going to strike. Already once we did once last week. I think you know that.
Yes. So
we are going to agitate.
All right, Ravindra.
No
all right, Ravindra. I can understand what you're going through at this point in time. Thank you so much for taking time out to join us here on the news here on Magic Bricks Now and sharing your views with us. Moving away from that big story and on to the Delhi government, which on the 8th of December announced the Oddeven Plan for car use within city limits. This plan comes into action on New Year's Day, which means on the 1st of January in New Delhi, you will only get to drive your car if your registration number is an odd number. That is, your car number should end in 1, 3, 5, 7 or 9. Cars with numbers ending 2, 4, 6, 8 or 0 can be driven on every other day. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal at a press conference said that the Home Ministry is fully supportive of the plan and that the government is working on making exceptions for ambulances and women in the plan. Listen in.
बहुत ही पॉजिटिव रिस्पांस था राजनाथ सिंह जी का, उसके लिए हम बहुत शुक्रगुजार हैं। उन्होंने कहा कि पूरी तरह से केंद्र सरकार और दिल्ली पुलिस इसमें सपोर्ट करेंगे। उनके कुछ कंसर्न्स थे जिसके ऊपर अभी हमने कहा कि सोचा जा रहा है। जैसे अगर कोई पेशेंट किसी गाड़ी में है तो उनको एग्जेम्प्ट किया जाएगा। कोई सिंगल महिला अगर गाड़ी चला रही है उसकी सेफ्टी का किस तरह से ध्यान रखना है, उनको भी एग्जेम्प्ट किया जा सकता है। और इस तरह से और भी उन्होंने कई सारे इश्यूज़, इमरजेंसी अगर आ जाती है, उन्होंने कुछ इश्यूज़ को फ्लैग किया जिसको हमने कहा कि सॉर्ट आउट करेंगे और जो भी खाका है एक बारी उनसे चर्चा करेंगे दोबारा।
It looks like the PMRDA is slowly picking up steam. The Maharashtra government has extended the area under the jurisdiction of the Pune Metropolitan Development Authority, or the PMRDA, to contain the city's unruly growth. Ruchi Deshpande tracks the Pune market and she gets us the details. Ruchi, tell us how much area will the PMRDA develop now?
it looks like Pune is on its way to becoming the largest urban body in the state of Maharashtra. Now reports tell us that the Maharashtra government last night went ahead and extended the boundaries under which the area of Pune will fall under the PMRDA or the Pune Metropolitan Regional Development Authority. And yes, this area is definitely more than what the MMRDA has. In fact, the area under PMRDA's development is 30% more than that under MMRDA. Just to take you through the numbers as to how large this area really is, the PMRDA earlier had a jurisdiction over 3,300 square kilometers of land and comprised of about 450 villages. Now this has nearly doubled to 6,600 square kilometers and about 800 villages in all. This also brings the population of this entire area up to 1.9 crore. When we spoke to the PMRDA, they told us that 1.5 years from now is the deadline that they have given to complete the development of all the area under the PMRDA. And the approach they are using is a population-based survey, according to which or after which the infrastructure and the projects for this will be accordingly decided. Just to give you a brief background, the PMRDA was established this year as the apex developmental body of Pune. In fact, this happened in March 2015, and it includes the PMC, the PCMC, as well as 2 other municipal corporations, in addition to which now there will be Saswad, Rajgurunagar and Chakan under the PMRDA.